Hello, welcome back to City Planner Plays. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I have been wondering if it is possible to create a totally self-sufficient city. So we have the Green Cities DLC, we have self-sufficient buildings, but can we make a city that doesn't need any outside connections and can live in and of itself? We're going to find that out today, but first I want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor. I've teamed up with Apex Gaming PCs to design my own custom computer perfect for playing games like Cities Skylines and Timberborn. Check them out by looking at the link in the video description. The map that I picked has resources kind of across the board. We've got a little bit of everything available to us. So I have used the 81 tiles mod to unlock everything, and we are going to start, it wants us to start there, but I kind of like this little island. So I think that we're going to start over here, and we are going to break many of the rules that I usually set out with. And that is, don't overbuild your infrastructure. Let's just keep it stupid. There, keep it simple, stupid. But I'm gonna deviate from that just a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna start our little city on this island. And there's a couple of rules to this. We need to be able to be completely self-sufficient. I want to be able to delete our outside connections. That's why we have Move It. We're not going to have any air connections, any land connections, any rail connections, any sea connections, nothing. So what we're going to have to do is make sure that we have every single industry and zone type built, and then we will sever all of our connections and see if we're able to hold our population. So we're going to start here, and we'll keep it really simple. Now, right here we have a coal power plant. Probably not our best choice. So we will go with wind. And I'm gonna basically go as cheap as I can and everything, so if it pollutes a whole bunch, I'm okay with that. This isn't about being a sustainable city. It's about being a sustainable city, if you catch my drift. And over here is where we will start our city. This is where all of our residents will love to live. We're going to do something really simple. We'll just go with a 10 by 20 grid all the way across. Okay, so now our first Sims have moved in. We have a population of 0. Okay. Probably because we don't have water anywhere. And we're getting some commercial demand too. Let's build out a couple more blocks of residential. And we're out of money. Perfect. So I can't do much in this panel. We haven't unlocked it yet, but soon. We do have citizens now, so it's just a matter of time. So now we have some industrial demand. Let's fill this in. Oh, when you don't have enough money to buy a dirt road, you know things aren't going well. Budgetary equilibrium. That's where we want to be. And, we're making our way towards 500, which is where we unlock a whole series of buildings and get some more money. And I'm really feeling that equilibrium as we have no demand for anything right now. Okay, little hamlet. Now we have taxes, great, loans, garbage, healthcare, and some of our core city facilities. This will be incredibly important as we try to reach an equilibrium here. That also means that that's a responsibility of ours, though. So because we want this to be sustainable, let's go with the recycling center. Even though it's more, the capacity is significantly lower, but if we can get good with these, we can make this city last forever. Look at all that traffic. It's just streaming in. Everyone going down this slow dirt road to get to their new home over on the other side of this island, which is also just dirt roads. And that's a cul-de-sac. Perfect. Okay, so we can mess with our taxes now. And I'll say mess with because it's really just increasing everything to 12%. Everything that we can anyway. Let's get as much tax revenue as we can. We don't have policies yet, but we do have that. We are going to need more industrial, apparently. Okay, so we've got our cul-de-sacs and we are moving. So let's come back over, add more residential, and see if we can start getting some of our services. And we don't have the money for any of this stuff. It's way too expensive. We need to find a way to just make a whole bunch of money, regardless of how we do it. Even if that means we're cheesing the game a little bit, we're going to do it. And we'll try to do it with our industries. Oh, actually, I don't know if it makes a ton of sense to create any industries, because ultimately the industries are going to end up costing us a ton if we don't have the ability to export. So we may just want to zone our land uses. That's probably our best bet. The unique factory goods can't be consumed, at least in my knowledge. They can't be consumed by the commercial districts. We are running out of power now, so we're going to take out a loan. Perfect. Just what I was hoping to do this early into the build. I've got to be careful, because if I get these too close, we're going to start losing power. But it's looking like, for the time being, the game's good with it, so I'm good with it. All right, Worthy Village. We get districts. That's huge. We also get some specializations. That is also huge. And we get self-sufficient buildings and organic and local produce. Maybe we just need to set the whole kit and caboodle to be self-sufficient and organic and local. We also have some policies, firehouse, police station. Time to get those things going. So just generally, we're going to need some city services. We'll take care of that now. Okay, lots of waiting, but we finally do have a proper city services core. We've got a clinic, fire department, and a police department, so we are good to go. We got these ships just cruising through here. Again, we're running out of power. Oh, it's just brutal. Just brutal. 6,000. In the meantime, we are burning down and out of power. Well, it gives us time to name our city. We'll just name it Sustainability. Yeah, good enough. So it's still saying that I can get 8 megawatts by placing on this hill. I'm not sure if that's taking away from my others. Let's just see. I should get to 40. If I don't get that, I got to move this. I got to 40. Wow. It is letting me just saturate these. Well, I'll take it. And we really don't have any other power options available to us. They'll unlock soon enough. We just need to really work on getting our population as high as it can be. Clearly, demand is not a problem. Let's work our way around the mountain. Do I have some of the tools available? Still no terrain heights. I can't believe that's not available to you right off the bat. Okay, industry areas, great. Different industries, including fishing. That might be useful for us now. Universities, fishing routes, canals, parks, high schools, parks generally. Lots of good stuff. And I can now look at terrain heights. I will take it. I wouldn't call this beautiful, but I would say that it's working. So I have move it though, so it will be beautiful. Okay, so just because we are sandboxing and trying something weird doesn't mean that we can't make this interesting. So I'm kind of looping around the side here, and I'm going to follow the coast with that pattern. I guess this is a river. It's the island. It's interesting. I don't know. Is this the river? It's kind of ocean-like. Ocean here, maybe? I don't know. So 2,600, and we're going to be able to unlock and unleash our waters for power. Which is good because all of our other power plants are really not unlockable for a while. And just to maximize what we're doing, I'm going to enable some policies. So we're going to have the power utilization policy enacted throughout the entire city. And that's not going to do a lot for us. So we're going to need to, again, cram some more power plants up here. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to care that I've got a million of these. I thought that I had to be a little bit more judicious with this. Doesn't mind one bit. So we are able to look at our resources now, and you can see that right in the center of our island we have oil. I hope that's not the only place. It's not. We've got oil here, ore here. We've got a little bit of, this is fertile land, so we'll have to have some farms here. And then eventually, maybe we'll have our general industry back here and reserve this almost entirely for clean uses. And I like that idea. So why don't we get started on that? Because I think it's going to be really important that we are thoughtful about that right up front. And part of the way that we're going to be thoughtful about that is we're going to start upgrading some of our roads. This, even after we get rid of our connection, is going to be an important corridor. So let's treat it as such right now. Kidding. That was a terrible idea. We can't afford that bridge. What are you doing? So I could take out another loan, and I'm going to do just that because that's normally what you do with infrastructure anyway. So let's go for broke. Literally. So unfortunately, I've zoned a whole bunch of stuff along what is going to be the main artery into our city. So I'm going to lose all of our commercial. Oh, that was a disaster. That cost so much money to fix. I had to move all of my city services because I put them too close. And I have one more to fix over here. And this one's going to be painful too. Okay, we got it. We're good. Oh, we don't have water though. That somehow got disconnected. Woo. All right. So we're good to go again. I'm going to start working some of our utilities across the sea, the water body, whatever it is, because we need to start thinking about these resources over here. Forestry as well. So forestry, we'll need to separate that. We can't have that next to the dirty industry. Maybe over here, general industry over there. Something. We'll get it figured out. There we go. So now let's get our first generic or specialized industry set up. Okay, so this will be our first district. There we go, and we will set our industry specialization. We're going to have some farming. So this is going to be critical in ensuring that we have a totally sustainable city. This is our food. I can't think of anything more important. Water, I guess. Maybe water. We're just gonna have to wait for this to spread down here. This is unfortunate, but we're gonna be fine. We're gonna do the exact same thing over here as we're waiting. Obviously, industry isn't what the city wants, but it doesn't matter. We're Boomtown, and we have unlocked airports, which we're not gonna do anything with. Ferries, I guess we could if we really wanted to. Taxis, post service. I guess if you want to mail letters throughout the town, more policies, more roads, heating, trams. I'm not really concerned about transit, truthfully. And not because I'm an American. I do care about transit. I love transit, actually. But in this build, I think we're going to be fine without it. We're just going to build lots of local roads and basically nothing else. And what I found is that allows for pretty decent connectivity in the game. And as a result, people walk. So second industry area. And this one will be ore. And I'm being really free and loose with my water pipes and where they're going. And it feels dirty, but good. I don't know if that makes any sense. So here we go. Oh, it's so close. Okay, and it really wants some commercial, so I think we're going to feed it what it's looking for. That said, we are going to do it cleanly. Okay, so we have some significant trash collection issues, but we knew this was going to happen. So we're just going to load it up right here. We also should be managing our traffic a little bit, even though this is a challenge. Not smart to leave it. So let's do that. Okay, so we have trash and death, and everything is terrible. That's okay, we'll take care of some of those things right now. Death, gone. Let's keep all of the old people and children alive if we can. And again, we're out of power, and we still have no other power options available to us. So we continue 8 megawatts at a time, hoping to continue to grow our city in the process. I love that sound. It makes me feel like I'm in Vegas or something. So I love it. And we're out of water and sewage treatment capacity. So more. Or I guess more of some and not the other. So we got some problems. But in general, we've got to start. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This isn't the most beautiful city in the world, especially with all of the dirt roads, but it's functional. If we look at our traffic flow is amazing, even though everyone is driving. I guess it is very small, so, you know. We should just be realistic about what we are. And let's make a little park. This is not going to be fancy, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, no one has ever said that this park is wonderful, but there are people walking through it, and we're going to make some money because I do not want to lose money right now. So I crank this all the way to the top. People are walking through it. They're getting charged every time they walk through. We're going to cheese the game a little bit in that way because it's benefiting us right now. All right, so lots of commercial demand still. What else do we need? We should really look at generally our city services, taking out some of this residential in place of parks and other services will help us level up, which will help us reach our next milestone. So I'm kind of indiscriminately placing these. You get a dog park, you get a dog park, everyone gets a dog park, and power. Found one more spot where I can get 8. Perfect. All right, so we're moving along. Our next population milestone will be Busy Town. I think the one that we really need to hit is Small City. Truthfully, I don't even know if that's necessary. Because we're not going to do anything with... We need to get to our next one because that gives us oil. Because right now we don't have the ability to do that. After that, we have food. We have the ability to produce goods. We have the ability to produce each of our specialized types of industry. So at that point, if we can't exist, it's the game itself that's not allowing it. Let's de-cul-de-sac. Even though this is somewhat of a trial, we don't need to completely cul-de-sac it up. And we have created one strode to serve them all. This is absolutely atrocious city design, but the game's gonna love it. It is Cities Skylines approved. So we're gonna go for it, because our main goal right now is to test the game, not to build the most beautiful city in the world. Although truthfully, I don't hate this. I mean, I hate the strode, but I don't hate the rest of it. It's okay. The nice thing is this will stop us from needing all of the power lines that we have been forced to build for the longest time now. Okay, very nice. We have cul-de-sacs all over. We have no sustainable power, but we have a growing city, and we're about to reach our next goal, which is going to give us what we need to totally sever ourselves. Potentially. I'm not 100% sold on that yet, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, there we go. Power issues again. Oh, but we have this. I didn't even notice. Perfect. This is going to be super helpful because we can just litter our coasts with power. And look at that. We've quickly built up quite the power reserve. And of course, it's not touching anything. Busy town, city planning policies, the oil industry. With that, what more do we really need? We can filter industrial waste. Oh, we're doing it. We are going to go all out now. So there we go. We've got that. Okay, so we'll make one gigantic sustainable district here. All right, the Cooper district. And let's see, policies. Recycling. We're gonna like Parks and Rec. We're gonna have free Wi-Fi so we don't have to worry about mail as much. We'll encourage biking, filter industrial waste, although we're gonna do that citywide. And then let's go through here. We have self-sufficient buildings and we have our organic and local produce, which will just destroy our population. So we're gonna lose every single person in the city to these policies, but I'm good with it. I am good with it. We're gonna let this run and hopefully our city comes back to life. Okay, for anyone wondering, I had to do quite a lot to save this city from the absolute brink of catastrophe. Don't ever just change all of the homes in your city. It's a bad idea, but I did it anyway, and it worked. We are alive-ish. So we have to get an oil industry, and I believe that's right here, or right here, which we're not. No. So yeah, right across the sea, just a modest bridge needed for that. So by modest, I mean incredibly expensive. But we'll pay for it anyway. I've again run out of money building dirt roads, which tells you where I'm at right now. Not a good financial place. So oil here, and I do think maybe we will add another industry. We need our farming industry, and maybe we'll just carve that into this side here. Or not farming, we need a forestry industry rather. So here we go, forestry. Let's go. Okay, so one more industry down. And then we need to get this one set up as well. Oh, our finances are so wrecked right now. And I wonder, what's our trash? All right, our trash capacity's okay. Kind of worried about that. And nothing developing here, not a surprise. I think this is failing for the most part. And over here, more failure. And more failure. So I wonder, if we look at these homes, yeah, uneducated, so that's okay. I'm just wondering if this district in general needs more education. We certainly don't have enough elementary schools. We don't have a high school, so that's a thing. We've barely got parks, and I can't take out a loan. I guess I could. I hope that high school was worth it. And by worth it, I mean it'll improve our odds of getting more residents in here, because right now we're just struggling. Where our population's almost where it was before, which is busy town, which is good enough for us. We can now get our power lines over to this new district. We're going to do it. Just wanted to verify that we have our specialization. We do. So we're going for it. All right, so we're set up there. At this point, we just need our demand to come back, and it's coming back slowly. So again, we're going to let this simulate and watch as this starts to fill in just a little bit more. Okay, now that we've got some money, I do want to look at our education system to see. We can't build a university yet, but we could have enough elementary schools. That would be helpful. Because if this is going to be sustainable, we should have an equilibrium, ideally. So we'll have a library, that'll help. And I kind of want a post office too. We've got our little city services center somewhere around here. So difficult to see with that view, but there it is. And there we go. It's burning. All right, so here we are. We've got 5,000 population. We're waiting for this. We're waiting for this. As soon as we have those, we're going to be rip-roaring and ready to go. So commercial is what we're just screaming for. Let's give the people what they want, even if it makes no sense. Just blocks of commercial. And I'm going to actually pay off a loan. To me, sustainability means we have no loans too. And I think we can get there. I do. Just holding out hope. We're almost there, I think, for these industry areas to start developing. Part of that might be the lack of fire coverage and protection. It seems like 7,000 is another really important milestone for us. So at a minimum, we're going to need to get there. I think we're going to be close on having enough residential zoning. Yeah, we get high density at 7,000 too. So that's another thing. All right. Finally, we have some forestry industry. That is going to be key. Over here. Oh. Apparently the oil industry is like some spools and some garbage. Okay, whatever works for you. That's gonna bring us to sustainability. So I will just, I'll live with it. Oh, what I will not live with is the mistake that I made. I put the power line way too close. I'm gonna destroy it as I upgrade this to a collector. In fact, I'll even destroy our garbage and our spool. So I've taken the oil industry and completely said, nah, we're good. And this should probably have a collector coming to it as well. I'm going to upgrade this one. Okay, so just a couple more people in this city and we will have 7,000. At least this time we don't have a garbage pile. We have an oil derrick, so I guess that's something. I guess all of the oil will be produced from this one building. Now I wonder, is there any value in just having a couple of warehouses? Since we're not going to have any outside connections, I am going to add warehouses next to each of these districts. And we're spending the big bucks. Actually, this is only 16,000. It's not as bad as I thought. Okay, big town, 7,000. We can finally build our university. And it gave us more money to continue to construct our obscene number of warehouses. So let's settle these warehouses. Oh, whoa, that looks absolutely horrendous. I know this isn't... I can't leave it like that. It's a little better. All right, topography. You respect me today. All right, so here we are going to zoned, I guess just commercial goods. Here we will have zoned forestry, zoned oil, zoned ore, and zoned farming. Now, I don't really know that we need anything else. I think that that's it. But we do need to make sure that we have some educated workers, because right now we are in a position where we are 100% reliant on imported educated workers. So I think that's our last major import. besides tourism, which, who cares, I guess. And I'll pay back that loan. Probably shouldn't. We're going to let this run again until I get 75,000, and then we'll go. Okay, so tons of demand for commercial still. So I'm going to meet that demand. And I don't love to always just wholesale respond to the RCI meter, but it feels like in this challenge, maybe that would be a wise thing to do. And utilities, we're also going to need to respond to that. We're teetering on the brink of calamity, which is, Lee Hawkins would say that is building what you need when you need it. And I would agree. I think it makes sense. That's the way a real city builds. You don't build a whole bunch of extra stuff just because you have some money in the bank. That will get every elected official kicked out of office. So people want their taxes cut then. They don't want you to overbuild infrastructure. All right, so at this point, you're right about there. So close. No loans, which is one of the goals. Once we have our university, we're going to let it rip. There we go. Everyone loves that. You have your university? Of course you're happy. All right, so first things first. No more exports. So our population, 7,729. Can we increase it? At this point, if we take a look and we go into our city statistics, we should see our population is its influx. So our birth rate is high. Death rate, starting to grow, but influx is where we're getting our population from. So that's the big question. Can we still grow without influx? And the big question there is, can we survive with just the industry that we have? Building that to de-cul-de-sac the area. This is so far away. It has absolutely no police and fire coverage. So we are going to take care of that. Okay, so we're still growing, which is a positive. Now let's up the ante further. I want to just get rid of all of the external connections. So let's only select. I only want to select roads. So we'll do nodes for roads. Select them. Gone. Select them. Gone. Okay, so there are no roadway connections into the city. So we do still have ship connections. And I want that. I want to feel totally desolate. So there's our ship connections. It's not having it. It is not going to let me get rid of those. It's fine. Okay, well, we have to have ships because for whatever reason, I can't get rid of that. But our city's still growing. Things are still leveling up. I wonder if we really try, can we reach a population of 10,000? Let's build a small downtown and see. So the population's still going up just as it always has, which is pretty wild. I wonder, are we still getting credit for influx? That should have dropped to 0. No, it is 0. This is all births. Wow. I had no idea that this was actually possible. But I think it is. I don't think you need any outside connections. I think they're a nice to have, not a must have. We've got everything that we need. We have the ability to get our own gas from our oil derrick. Our one oil derrick. It is our oil. All of our oil. And then we have our food production over here, which is mostly vacant and decrepit. And then we also have a whole bunch of ores, also decrepit and vacant. And I wonder what these look like. Oh, so this is full. So we are just loading this up. The farm goods, not so good. Not looking good. Especially this warehouse, not looking good. Good enough. So yeah, we have a very empty warehouse, which is a little scary. Over here, our forestry industry, we've loaded that up. So that to me, and what are we looking at over here? 1% full. So we are really producing a lot of goods here. Here we're not doing so good. Could we run out of food? Is that like a thing that could happen? It doesn't feel like it. But anyway, let's zone out a few more blocks of high density residential. We'll see what happens. You know what? I don't even need to see 10,000 people to know that this works. Is this valuable? I don't know. Have you know, would I ever do this? You know, probably not. Maybe. It's kind of neat. Knowing that I was able to create a city that needs no outside help. We're not importing our energy. We are not, we have this oil derrick here that, you know, it's working sometimes. I don't know. I don't understand why we've got one. We've got one, but you know, traffic is good. The people, are they happy? Let's check out our city statistics, because that's going to be just as interesting. You know, people they're less happy. They've been less happy. But our death rate's also gone up. Our birth rate influx is gone. No one's been in the city at this point for a long time. And then if we take a look, let's see. Our happiness for all of our zones is fairly low, but truthfully, that might have as much to do with our lack of park space as anything else. So if I were to just go hog wild, and let's just say some of our higher value parks, so that's 125, 125, 100. Let's throw in some high value parks. Now, what I find to be more curious is that we have absolutely no industrial or no offices anywhere in the city. And I'm not sure if that has more to do with just our education pipeline backfilling right now, our lack of industrial demand generally because of everything that we've built, or the lack of outside connections. If any industry were going to be non-reliant on outside connections, I think it would be an office district, but I could be wrong. Up. And as I speak, Angry Clans mobile games. We have the internet. I can't stop that. So they'll be fine. So there we go. Yeah, I think this works. Let me know. I want to know in the comments. Have you ever done this? Have you ever built a completely sustainable city without any outside connections? Is this something that you've ever been curious about? Let me know. And I will upload this so you can take a look at it if you want to, play with it a little bit more. No problem with that. So let's explore. How big of a city do you think you could build like this without any outside connections? You know, things are growing slowly, but everything seems to be going okay. Let's look at some of our info. Traffic, amazing. Happiness, blah. Health, you know, we're okay. Could use some improvements, but a lot of that's the city itself not being great. It's a loud city. It's got some fire problems. It's one of my cities. No transit, crime, population. We're good. This is a fine city. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed, please consider doing so. And I cannot wait to see you in the next one. We will have a brief city tour, and once again, one huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Apex Gaming PCs. Thank you so much. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. If you stuck around to the end of the video, I owe you a payoff. It is possible to reach 10,000 population. I've upgraded all the roads, so all those dirt roads are gone. And we still only have one lonely oil derrick, although it is upgraded, so we've got that going for us. Take care. Bye-bye.